The morning sun cast its golden rays across the garden, filling it with warmth and serenity. Buddha sat peacefully under the sacred Bodhi tree, his presence radiating calmness. I approached him, burdened by doubts that clouded my heart and mind. Buddha, I began, bowing low. My mind is restless and seeks answers to life's uncertainties and constant challenges. He opened his eyes slowly, his gaze filled with compassion and understanding. What is it that troubles your mind, my friend? He inquired, his voice gentle yet commanding. My thoughts are restless, and I fear the future holds nothing but chaos and disappointment, I confessed honestly. Buddha listened attentively, nodding slightly, signaling his understanding of my inner turmoil. Sit with me, he invited. Patting the soft ground beside him, I sat down, feeling the cool earth beneath me, grounding my anxious thoughts momentarily. Life, he began, is like a river, continuously flowing, changing, and shaping the land it touches. I tilted my head, struggling to understand the depth of his comparison. Does a river fear the obstacles in its path, or does it embrace them and continue its journey? Buddha asked. A river, my master, embraces them and carves a new path, adapting to the terrain, I replied thoughtfully. Indeed, Buddha affirmed, so too must our minds flow, free from the grip of fear and attachment. But how can we free ourselves from fear and find peace? I questioned, my voice tinged with desperation. The more you resist the current, the more turbulent your journey becomes. One disciple asked, Master, is it wrong to desire happiness or love? Buddha smiled gently and replied, to seek happiness and love is natural. I see a potential tree, a symbol of growth and life, I replied after pondering his question for a moment. Buddha nodded in agreement, his expression warm with approval. This seed harbors immense potential, yet it asks for nothing and clings to nothing, he explained. A seed does not fret over its future, nor lament its past, but remains present in its purpose, Buddha continued. I considered his words, realizing the profound simplicity and wisdom they carried within them. What if we, too, lived as the seed does, free from attachment and anchored in the present moment? He posed. Second, identify its cause, which is craving and attachment. Third, know that cessation of suffering is possible. Fourth, understand that the path to liberation lies in the Eightfold Path. Buddha paused, observing the disciples' reactions. Their faces reflected both awe and contemplation. A young disciple named Sariputta spoke. Master, I understand suffering originates in craving. But how can we overcome it? Buddha answered, craving is like a fire that consumes everything in its path. But it is through these challenges that we grow, shape our path, and discover our true selves, he added. Letting go of fear and embracing the journey requires immense strength and trust, I admitted, unsure of my ability to embody his teachings. Imagine a candle. It shines brightly, yet its flame cannot endure forever. Practice observing your thoughts without judgment. Like a seed watches the world as it grows, Buddha advised. Do not resist your fears but acknowledge them as part of your journey, he concluded with a serene smile. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, its warmth enveloped us, casting away the morning chill. I felt a newfound sense of clarity and peace, inspired by Buddha's teachings and the garden's quiet resilience. Rising from the ground, I bowed deeply, expressing my gratitude for his wisdom and compassion. Carry this seed of understanding with you, nurturing it with presence and trust, Buddha said as I prepared to leave. I left the garden, my heart lighter and my mind steadier, ready to face life's challenges with a beginner's mind. Another day, another chance for the sun to rise and illuminate the world with its soft, golden light. The morning air carried the scent of blooming jasmine, a reminder of life's ephemeral beauty. I approached the Buddha, finding him seated under the shade of a large banyan tree. His gaze was directed toward a young woman, her hands trembling as she presented a piece of cloth. "Master," she began, her voice quivering, "I am a runi, a weaver. My work feels inadequate compared to others." Her eyes brimmed with frustration and self-doubt. The Buddha gestured for her to sit, his smile warm and inviting. "What is it that troubles your heart?" "A runi?" the Buddha asked, his voice as soothing as a calm river. She looked down at the cloth in her hands. "Its edges uneven and patterns irregular. I weave, but my threads break, and my designs falter. I feel unworthy and incapable," a runi confessed tearfully. The Buddha took the cloth from her hands, examining it with gentle care. "This cloth," he began, "carries the story of your hands, your patience, and your dedication." A runi looked puzzled, her doubt mirrored in her furrowed brows. "Perfection is a mirage, an illusion that distracts us from the beauty of imperfection," the Buddha explained serenely. He ran his fingers over the cloth, tracing its imperfections as though they were lines of poetry. "Beginner's mind is free from judgment, open to each moment as it unfolds," the Buddha said, offering her the cloth back. A runi hesitated, unsure of how to receive his words. "Master, how can I embrace imperfection when the world values only what is flawless?" she asked with earnest curiosity. The Buddha picked up a thread lying nearby, holding it up for all to see. "A runi, a thread alone is fragile and incomplete, but it carries the potential for unity and creation," he stated. He handed the thread to her, encouraging her to weave it into the cloth. Each thread added to the loom represents an action taken, a step toward growth and understanding, the Buddha explained further. Aruni's trembling hands steadied as she began to weave, her movements guided by his calming presence. "Do not worry about the outcome. Focus on the rhythm of your hands and the harmony of the process," the Buddha instructed. The other disciples gathered around, watching Aruni's cloth take shape under her newfound sense of purpose. The act of creation is a meditation, a practice of mindfulness and presence, the Buddha continued with measured words. Aruni's breathing slowed, her focus entirely on the interplay of threads beneath her fingers. Hours passed, and the cloth grew, its patterns more vibrant, its texture more harmonious. The Buddha lifted the finished piece, showing it to the gathered disciples. "See how her beginner's mind has transformed doubt into beauty and fear into grace," the Buddha said with quiet pride. Aruni's eyes glistened with tears, this time not of frustration but of gratitude. "Master, I understand now. My hands are capable, and my heart can find peace in the act of weaving," she said. The Buddha nodded, his smile deepening as he spoke. "Aruni, carry this lesson with you into your life. Begin each day as if it were your first," he advised. The disciples murmured in agreement, their minds alight with the clarity of his teachings. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the monastery, Aruni departed. She carried her cloth and a heart unburdened, ready to face her craft with a renewed spirit. The Buddha watched her leave, his eyes reflecting the same serenity as the still waters of a lake. His teachings, like seeds scattered by the wind, took root in the hearts of those present. Each disciple left the banyan tree that evening, their minds enriched and their souls lightened. Another day, another opportunity for the moon to illuminate paths hidden within the veil of night's gentle embrace. The cool breeze whispered through the trees, carrying the scent of blooming lotus flowers from the nearby pond. Buddha stood near the water's edge, his gaze fixed on the serene ripples spreading across the surface. An elder monk, Vidura, approached slowly, his steps heavy with years of practice and unanswered questions. "Master," Vidura began, bowing deeply, "I have walked this path for many years. Yet enlightenment remains distant and unclear to me." Buddha turned to Vidura, his expression filled with compassion and understanding. Vidura, he said softly, why do you seek enlightenment as though it were a destination to reach? Vidura's furrowed brows and somber eyes reflected his frustration and confusion. I thought the path would lead me to clarity and freedom, but I am lost in doubt and uncertainty, Vidura confessed. Buddha gestured to the rippling water, his movements as fluid as the natural world around him. Tell me, Vidura, does the moonlight claim the water's surface as its own? Or does it simply illuminate what is present? Buddha asked. Vidura pondered the question, his mind striving to grasp the depth of the metaphor. The moonlight illuminates the water without attachment, revealing its beauty without claiming or altering it, Vidura replied thoughtfully. Buddha nodded in affirmation, his serene smile encouraging Vidura's introspection. The path of life is much like the moonlight upon the water, offering illumination without demanding control or certainty, Buddha explained. Vidura listened intently, his heart yearning for the wisdom that eluded him for so long. Uncertainty is not an obstacle but a teacher, revealing the possibilities within the unknown, Buddha continued, his voice as steady as the night's rhythm. He picked up a small pebble and gently tossed it into the pond, its ripples spreading outward in concentric circles. Watch the ripples. Vidura, do they fear the expanse they create, or do they embrace their journey outward? Buddha asked. Vidura observed the ripples, their harmonious movement inspiring a sense of calm and reflection. The ripples embrace the journey, knowing their expansion is simply part of their existence, Vidura answered with newfound clarity. Buddha placed a hand upon Vidura's shoulder, his touch grounding the elder monk's restless thoughts. Enlightenment is not a summit to conquer, but a practice of infinite discovery. Free from the fear of failure, Buddha stated. Vidura's eyes brightened slightly, his doubts softening in the warmth of Buddha's guidance. But how does one find joy within the unknown, when fear and doubt linger in the heart? Vidura asked earnestly. Buddha smiled, his gaze sweeping across the disciples gathered in quiet anticipation. Begin each moment with beginner's mind, free from judgment and attachment, as if you were experiencing life for the first time, Buddha advised. He led Vidura and the disciples along an unmarked trail through the forest, their steps guided by the moon's glow. The trail revealed blooming flowers amidst wild, untamed growth, their vibrant colors flourishing in the absence of expectation. Buddha paused before a flower, its petals softly trembling in the breeze. Does this flower question its place within the forest? Or does it simply bloom with trust in the journey? Buddha asked. Vidura knelt beside the flower, its simplicity and beauty resonating deeply within his soul. The flower blooms without fear, surrendering to the rhythm of nature, Vidura replied, his voice steadier than before. Buddha extended his hand, lifting Vidura to his feet with gentle care. You too can surrender to the rhythm of life, trusting in its impermanence and boundless possibilities, Buddha said. Vidura's mind quieted, his heart finding solace in the profound simplicity of Buddha's teachings. The disciples continued along the trail, their silence filled with introspection and reverence for the unknown paths ahead. Buddha's steps were calm and purposeful, his presence a beacon of trust and harmony. As the night deepened, the forest opened to a clearing where the stars above mirrored the vastness of their journey. Buddha raised his hand toward the sky, his voice carrying the weight of timeless wisdom. Look to the stars, Vidura, and see how they illuminate the darkness without asking where they are destined to shine, Buddha spoke. Vidura's gaze followed Buddha's hand, his thoughts quieted by the infinite beauty of the night sky. Enlightenment is not a possession to attain but a practice of presence and openness to each moment, Buddha concluded. Vidura knelt before the Buddha, his heart filled with gratitude for the lessons that reshaped his understanding. Master, I see now that the path is not distant but within each step I take. Free from expectation, Vidura said. Buddha smiled, his eyes shimmering with the light of 1,000 moons. Carry this wisdom with you, Vidura, as you embrace the practice of beginner's mind in all aspects of your life, Buddha advised. Vidura stood, his posture lighter, his spirit awakened to the endless possibilities before him, as the moon began its descent, casting its final glow upon the forest. Vidura and the disciples returned to the monastery. The ripples of Buddha's teachings spread through their hearts, echoing the infinite expansion of wisdom and trust. Each disciple carried the lessons into their lives, their minds enriched and their souls free from fear. Buddha watched the monastery as dawn approached, his presence a quiet reminder of life's boundless potential within the unknown. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.